Welcome to Sugarless Mama, where you can be unattached to sugar. We're super grateful that you're here, and I'm just going to share my screen and get started right away. So here we go. Unattached to sugar, so you can have self-control. I have so many clients who I work with, and there's this drive to eat something unhealthy, but it's not because of the fact that it's good for us and it's going to fill us up and it's going to give us something that feeds our body. It's because there's an emotional attachment to it, and when we unlink that emotional attachment, they'll just say, these clients will say, oh my goodness, I saw it and I didn't even want it, or ew, that was actually disgusting to me, or it looked like Play-Doh, like it's pretty but I didn't want to eat it. And so now they're unattached to it. So self-control isn't like you have to force yourself to be in control. It's this natural, unlinked, um, unlinked in the brain emotional state, so that you can think about the food as it really is. Is it serving you to live vitally and free and fun, or is it causing you to be tired and not be able to think in those things? So it's a pretty great way to handle it if you're trying to lose weight or get healthy or just have any kind of wellness goals. So you're our priority, and we want you to be able to do this without depriving yourself. And we know that fads have failed everybody, and that's just because they don't know the key. They don't know the core issue. Willpower and coaching and fitness and depriving yourself aren't dealing with this emotional link in the brain. So if you think about, so when I talk about emotional link, what I want you to think about is like, so maybe somebody here loves cats, but maybe somebody here hates cats. And if we asked them, well, how come you hate cats? They would tell us, oh, when I was a little kid, a cat bit me in the face and I still have scars, right? So they know how come they hate cats. So now they have a link, and the brain put cats and hate, these two the emotion and the physical being together, and it files it in the file system in the back of your head, the subconscious mind. So when that person sees a cat, their body sees it and it goes boom, their subconscious goes straight back to that memory and says, we hate them, they bit us. So that's how things link together. So when you hear people say, oh, I love chocolate, oh, I love cake, oh, I love cookies, you might start asking, I wonder how come you love that? Just like you would if they hated a cat or loved, right? Or loved a cat. Like, what is it that makes you hate or love this? It's actually an emotional reason way back in the memories and the recesses of our mind. So I hope this is going to be new thought process for you. We have paradigms, and the weight loss industry takes advantage of these paradigms. They know that you have habits and feelings, and that that they can attract you to their program through the fact that you have a paradigm that's causing this program, but they don't necessarily know how to unlink it, right? So without knowing the program, you can't help but sabotage it. It's just like, the other day I was supposed to go somewhere. I think I was going into a different town than I usually go to, but I had my headset on. I always go this way. So like if you go to a job and you always go that one direction, and then you're supposed to go somewhere else, and you keep driving past it because you're in the program of I'm going to work, not right. You're not thinking. So that's your subconscious. And we just don't know what it is. We always don't know what the subconscious language is, but we're going to learn a little bit tonight. So what we found is that sugar can very often equal connection. How many times have you gone to get sugar and you're like, I just want to, we don't really say this out loud, but it's like, I just want something filled inside of me. Like, I need something. And so we go to sugar because of connection. And so think of this. Think of what happens when you're little. and you go to a birthday party, or you are the birthday party. It's your birthday party. And all the kids arrive there and you have presents and your mom brings out the fruit and they sing happy birthday and you all eat fruit. Didn't that happen? No, brought out cake. And what do you think if you went to a birthday party that didn't have cake? Honestly, we would think this isn't a birthday party, wouldn't we? I've done it to my kids. I'm like, they don't need sugar. And my mom was just in a fit about it. Like, what? You didn't give your kids a cake? They didn't even care. My kids didn't care. But my mom was programmed that you have cake at birthday parties, right? So what happens at our birthday parties? We feel important. Everybody's there. We're having fun. And our brain just says, oh, it's the sugar that's fun. Just like the cat was hate. It's the sugar that's fun. So now when you're bored, when somebody hurts your feelings, when your husband or partner walks out the door, when your kids yell at you, when your mom won't call you, what do? Go for the cake, right? The cookies, the ice cream. It's only because we've been programmed that that's going to make us feel better because our brain thought, oh, this is where fun is, and it's the sugar. But what it really is the connection. That's why we can't help ourselves. We don't understand that it's coming from this program. So if you're ready to stop your sugar cravings and stop depriving yourself, that's what we're going to teach you about. We know that you have dreams. You want to vacation with confidence and wake up energized and make love without fear and be active and adventurous. And that's what we want for your body too. These are dreams that we can have when we're healthy and vibrant and well, right? And when we have this excess of toxins and fat and even the issues with our organs that can happen when we're not eating healthy, then we lose out on all of these things too. And it becomes a cyclical cycle, doesn't it? So your sugar, the things you need to know are to find out when your sugar craving started. So if you have a pen and paper, you might want to just answer this question for yourself. When did where did you learn that sugar is fun? Or where did you learn that, whatever it is that you're really driven to, whether it's cake or cookies or ice cream or whatever it is, toffee, chocolate, where did you learn that satiates your emotional state? It's a good question for you to know because for every person, it's different, right? I had a client who, her dad left her when she was little. She was raised by her mom until her mom got remarried and her mom had 2 kids. And the stepdad, was more involved with his own children, as many times happens. And she felt very left out. She never had anything to herself. She always had to share. She, everything was about them because that was the family. And she felt like the outsider. But once in a while, like maybe twice a year, her dad would come visit, her biological dad. And when he would come to visit, he would bring her what Australians call lollies, which is a chocolate, I guess. And so every time he came, and it would be all to herself. It would be her own stash of chocolate. She didn't have to share it. Obviously, he didn't, this was her special day. And her brain linked chocolate means I'm loved. Chocolate means I'm special. Chocolate means dad, chocolate means I'm important to dad. And so when she came to me every single night, she had to have chocolate. And she said, I have to have chocolate. And I was like, what? Because, all right, as a person that notices programs in people, I'm like, oh, you definitely have a program if you're saying you have to have it. And physically, you don't have to have it, right? You have to have water and you have to have nourishment, but you do not have to have chocolate. And so anyways, we got talking about it and then found out this great resource for how come she was driven to chocolate. She said every night, if I don't have it, if it's gone, if my husband ate mine, he has to go out and get me it before I can go to sleep. And So we worked together on this. And afterwards, she said, I asked her about it and she said, oh, I don't even think about it anymore. I'm like, really? That's amazing. She said, oh, yeah, my husband will eat chocolate and I'm not even interested. So when that emotional connection is gone, why else would we be drawn to it? It's not benefiting us. It's not nourishing, but the emotion is super strong towards it, isn't it? So it's not the sugar driving you, although it's addicting. As Athene, is that how I say your name? As Athene knows, Athena, it is addicting, but the program gave meaning and feeling to foods that aren't serving you. The program is the brain link. And what the brain syncs together, and this is Joe Dispenza's words exactly, what syncs in the brain, links in the brain. And sometimes people might say, what does that mean? What it means is the two things that came together at the same time gather meaning. The two things that came together at the same time. I've worked with this with allergies. People are allergic to certain foods, and then we go and find out, well, what happened around this food? Oh, mom and dad are fighting. My sister choked while we were eating this food. So now they hate that food, or they actually develop an allergic reaction to it. Their body's just trying to protect them from it. The body's doing the best job it can, but it doesn't think. It's not conscious. It just is programmed like your computer. So let's move on. So this was an example of a lady that I call Sarah. That's not her real name, but I called her Sarah. And she loved sugary and sweet foods. And her husband are retired. And so whenever they would go out, she would get these delicacies at bakeries and things like that. Well, she wanted to fit into a dress for her granddaughter's event, but she knew that the sweets were causing her problem. She also is borderline diabetic and has some other issues that she thought, it's when your joints hurt, arthritis. And so, and of course, sugar is very attached to arthritis issues in your body because it's so acidic and it pulls calcium from your bones and causes a lot of things like that. So she came to me and she didn't think she could help. I could help her because of all the things she's tried. She's in her 70s. And so we did fundamental work to her cravings for sweet. And it wasn't the sugar driving her. It was the memories that gave meaning. And we found that now that whatever these memories were, there was a lot of things with her dad as well. That might be a clue for you if you're looking at these. Like sometimes as one of or other of our parents aren't giving us enough attention. And then when we do get attention with them, we're often eating or enjoying something like that. And that can create a food program. So anyways, we did the work and now she goes into coffee shops and she's not tempted at all. She said that she looks at it and it looks like art. And she's like, you don't eat art. And I was just so proud of her. I'm like, that's incredible. And then she went to the doctor and she said for the first time since she's been on blood pressure medicine for 20 years, she was free, had normal blood pressure, and she had lost 20 pounds and didn't even know it. I was just like, this is incredible. So of course we've been working together for a while, but this is a quick video and it's 7:50. So, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear it.
I have a
Can you hear it?
I want to share.
Oh, good.
Last night, my husband brought home, he's like, a big bag of Ben & Jerry's and Haagen-Dazs ice cream, chocolate peanut butter, and all my favorite flavors for the house. He's like, look what I brought home, everybody. It looked repulsive to me. I did not even want a bite. I didn't even eat any. I'm like, what happened to me? So, and that was all. I was like, wait a minute. Like, it just happened. I've like chills right now. I'm like, it's like this is all I have to say is this is working when you don't know it's working. Exactly. You don't know. I was like, oh my, and it's still sitting there. I haven't even looked at it or thought about it. It was like, the ice cream came and it was like it was in a different reality. It didn't even touch my thoughts. It didn't even come in. It was like just right in front of me, but it didn't go in somehow. That's how I love it.
And that's a real result. Like, it's amazing. And it is a work that, there's a continuation, because we always are experiencing food, right? So it's like, you just need to know the questions to ask. Of course, at first it helps to have somebody that knows what they're doing to help you, but it's a continuous process, because we have food shoved in front of us all day long, right? It seems like everywhere. So that you've had issues with it. You would do it if you knew how, and your actions are being sabotaged and you're ready to try something else. Hopefully that's why you're here. So the things have worked against you in the background, and the way limiting beliefs work is that there's a perspective and it comes from a memory. Okay. And I love talking about memories, because I didn't realize how powerful it is until I started working in this. But then I realized, wow, we couldn't tie our shoes. We couldn't walk. We couldn't talk. We couldn't eat. We couldn't go to the bath. Like, all of these things come from memories. If those memories were gone, we wouldn't know how to do it. So just know that 95 to 98% of your day is being run by memories. And those are called programs. We get body sensations from a memory, right? Have you ever smelled something and you hate, and you're like, oh, that reminds me of that person, or, oh, I love that smell. It smells like grandma. Yeah, we have body sensations. We have beliefs from a memory. We have emotions. We have sensations, all the things that we've seen, heard, felt, tasted, and smelled. That's what's being held as a memory as well. And all of those memories create a focus in the brain. And so when you're unaware of these limiting beliefs, then they can run in the background without us knowing, of course. But when you become aware, then you can have some skills and tools for what to do with it. So, are you ready to try something proven? I think I let this person in. Somebody keeps trying to come in. Science is proving our brain and body connection. We want to let go of those old beliefs that drive your eating behaviors and be truly grateful for your incredible body. And that's part of the training that I love as well, is that, when our body doesn't act in the way that we would love it to, then we start to say, oh, my sore knee, excuse me. Oh, I hate my knee. Oh, my word. I'm so, so fat. Oh, I wish that I didn't have such a big butt, or all these things. Or even being embarrassed of ourselves. And our body, I just want to reiterate that our body is $1 billion equipment. There is nothing as magnificent as it on earth. Truly, we have so many things to be grateful for about it. What sinks into your body links into your brain. So learn how to unlink and eliminate those cravings. Oh, excuse me. You can be driven to love healthy foods. And wouldn't that be freedom for those of us that want vitality and want healthness, want wellness and want health? Yes. If you want to do things you love and you want your body to serve you to do that, then being driven to eat healthy foods would make sense. And we are here to help you want those healthy things. And it's easier when you find those emotional links and work with your brain and help take those emotional links away than it is to struggle and fight and constantly be battling that part of you. Because, okay, I have an instance where I was learning how to snorkel, and you're supposed to put it in your mouth and then put your face in the water and breathe. And I knew this, and I was like, okay. So I put my face in the water and I'm like, has anyone else snorkeled? Did you do that the first time? I was terrible. I could not breathe. I couldn't make myself breathe. There's no way. And so consciously, I was like, okay, I have a thing in my mouth. It's above I can breathe. Subconsciously, it was shutting that part right off. So it's easier when you find the emotional link and let it go, because then you're not fighting that part of you. The part that said, you're not going to breathe underwater, you'll die. was stronger than my conscious ability to breathe underwater. It took a long time, but I figured it out. So if you're ready and would like to try this, let's go. What would it be like having your subconscious work with you, or at least understand it and be aware of it and then go, oh, this is what I need to do right now. It's kind of like when it's like, so if you were a doctor or something, if you're a doctor or somebody that's specialized in something and somebody brings a problem to you, you're like, oh, I know what to do, right? If you know what to do for your own self and you can find those emotional and the background subconscious things that are running, the programs that are running, then you get to do it for yourself. You're like, oh, I know what to do. I know what to do. And that makes it easy. All right. So, what would it be like to have automatic self control and to think about, of course, what is your health worth? We know that the wealthiest people in the world, when they don't have their health, they can't buy it, can they? And who does your health affect? There's other people in your life that these food programs are affecting as well, right? Could be your children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, parents. Their programs probably affected you more than yours are affecting them, but it could go the other way. And who is creating a program and belief from your eating patterns? You are, and how badly do you need to change it? And these are just things for you to consider. And if you're tired of trying and you really want to get to the bottom of this, we find the reasons and the causes for these beliefs and the emotional links that are creating this inability to stop craving sugar. You know it's bad. And the knowing isn't creating a doing. The knowing isn't creating a being. There's a gap there. And
Mhm.
we just want you to know that you're worth it and you deserve it and you're ready for accomplishment and for changes. It's not your fault. Like I said in the beginning, there's all of these um people coming at you with, do this and try this and all of these things that uh they may work for a time, but when you work with your subconscious, then it's just going to make everything so much easier for you. So, all right. We do have a monthly mentor program. If you would like to find out about that, you can ask me about it or I can share it with you. And that monthly program is where we help you we ask the questions, help you find the subconscious program and help you let it go so that you can be free to experience life without cravings, have accountability and community, and get those results. All right. So thanks, Aviva, for joining us. I didn't get to meet you in the beginning. So let me go ahead and pause the recording here.